As you can see, the debris hunt went well. And I have got a Lighmatica working, so I can have this up there. And these chests contain many items that I will need for that, except for two. A bell, and all of the many copper I'm going to need. As you can see, I'm going to need 14.5 stacks more of copper, so I can make a stack and 32 more copper oxidized stairs, which is going to take a while, but there is a method to my madness. And that is down here, above a zombie spawner, where the zombies come up there and then are stuck with their heads in there, turning into drowns. And I have a looting sword. Admittedly, baby zombies don't get turned into drowns most of the time, unless they're a chicken. So I have these here to stop them from coming and killing me while I AFK and wait for zombies to just fill up this until I can kill them all. And that is what I will now be doing for quite a while. Well, as you can see by my hotbar, I now have all of them, all the stairs except 64. Except 64 of them which need oxidizing. And as you can see, I've added a rudimentary on-off switch, which is, well, effective enough. The little dude can just despawn later. And now that they're all placed down, I'm going to get around to do some bits and pieces that have been needing to be done. And you're going to sit down so you don't get injured. First things first, the completed stairs. Oh, I'm still getting used to where everything is on the keyboard. Now, the bees. As you can see, I have bees. I grew another hive and got them in here, and I've bred them a little bit, but because I only check on them once in a while, I'm leaving them be. The villagers down here are doing, well, that one's grown up, and they're still stuck there. The endless trap. Unfortunately, these villagers, as you'll notice, are not the same villagers. I don't know what happened. My best guess is a zombie somehow got in through, like, here, and I'd left the gate open. So that's really annoying, because it does mean I do now need to get a different book villager with feather falling, because I hadn't bothered getting it, because my boots always had it, because the armour I got them from gave them with prop free and feather falling, which is really convenient. But yeah. Unfortunately, you have been slated to die. If you fail me, you will meet the same fate. Probably should have added redstone to this minecart track. Oh yeah, I removed the schematic for now so I can finagle villagers somewhat more effectively. Not much more effectively, but we are talking about villagers. I've just had a horrible realization. Please don't be dead. Oh good, it's not. I have the head of your brethren. Remember this. Oh right, I forgot about that. I need that for there. Well, remember this. Honestly, that was probably more dramatic than it needed to be. Either way, I now have all of the copper, and I have a bell. And I have a replacement for my villagers. And an awning, so hopefully nothing falls in. Or they don't get thunderstruck. Which I'm wondering if that's what happened. It's possible. However. Oh wow, I forgot that I had to remove things so I could fix them. Fun times! I'm quite proud of this. Admittedly, I've added in a couple of patches of carpets and an iron golem because... in case I've left some spawnable spaces. I do now know that it's called a house of... Wow, I am very good at games. I do now know that it's called a house of worship, which I've been misspelling rather badly, as I'm sure you can figure how I've been misspelling it. I have moved a cleric into this building, who admittedly spends most of their time just sort of stood around here, like, trying to get behind the wall of coal, which is not really an issue, if I'm honest. What's interesting is that cleric is... Oh, that's unfortunate. I was trying to make sure that the cleric can't easily get out, although that does require... Okay, yeah. I think the cleric is stuck behind there, hence the fence gates and stuff. I just want it to look somewhat natural and like it's to stop people from just randomly walking up there, but obviously I can't really add, like, anything doing armour stands because that won't actually keep the cleric behind there. But anyway, what is interesting is that cleric is a term used by multiple religions, and I actually didn't know that was the case, because I just assumed it was a class used for D&D and stuff, and other TTRPGs. But, yeah. There is two other things I need doing in here. One, I want to add a banner in there, but I don't know what design, and I'm going to wait till I have got all of the banner patternings so that I can do that. The ones I'm missing currently are Charged Creeper, Skeleton, Notch Apple, Egg Apple, and I think I might be missing the flower, but I think I might already have it. And the other thing, I should probably change... I don't know how I feel about the carpet colouring, but I'm okay with it for now, and it does stop any of the available spawning... hang on. I have 8 more spawnable spaces up here that I need to deal with, but that's for another time. However, the final thing that needs doing is this area up here. And if I close that, one, I get a really nice view of the area, and I'm really looking forward to when I have all 4 of the corner towers built, because I think that'll look really, really nice. But there's one other thing I want to do, and that is I want to have a map of the area on top of here. Now, there's a reason I've made double of each map. Oh, whoops. Oh, whoops. There we go. There's a reason I've made double of each map, and that is so I can have a copy of the map in what is the mid-chunk of each area. And that should allow me to update the maps a lot more easily by going to that point and then just removing it and placing it back down again, which should then also update these because they're a copy of it. I'm not 100% certain, and I don't really know where I intend on putting them, but hey, I guess we'll find out then. Find out then. That's a problem for future me, is probably a better way of putting this. Now, in theory, I have just admittedly realised the one problem I'm going to be facing. Yeah, that is going to need to stay like that, otherwise I am going to be unable to get back down again. Now, Now, you may have noticed that I've changed the design for the crown. That's because I realised I'd accidentally made it and the other gold armour far too yellow, because I'd specifically made it so it looked a lot nicer and a lot more of a golden colour. It's not noticeable with the enchantments. I might get might see if I can find a more subtle enchantment resource pack, because I think it looks better when it's a bit more subtle. But, and it was also messing with how the skin is seen, because it just sort of went on the top and wasn't obvious. Admittedly, it's also not very obvious in the dark, so... Or in general, I suppose, because the skin is very dark, it being, you know, an Enderman. So if I make it day again, you might be able to see slightly better. No. I love this cat. Looks like my cat, but hey. I need to get better at not saying Yeah, so you can see little horns. You can't see the ears on the side, but I've designed it so it doesn't interfere with them. And it looks like it's held up by them, which I think looks quite cool. But yeah, I've redesigned it. I've kept the gemstones the same colour to keep it as a what's the word? Reference? Tribute. As a tribute to techno. But it now also looks like something I would have designed myself, and not just something copied completely. I've also added a little lava bucket cauldron so that I can consistently keep this topped up while I get endless numbers of nether bricks for the towers. That's going to be fun. The next big project, which is going to be a lot more resources than that, even if there are only going to be about 2 of them. You know, friends, I could now technically make it out of copper now I have a copper farm, but I don't want to. And frankly, no one can make me do that. I refuse. It is painful, the amount of them that I will need. I am, however, going to put a chest over here with the maps in. This admittedly is also my AFK spot, where I will just close myself in here with pumpkins. But yeah, I will see you in the next clip or episode, depending on how I feel.